So, what's going on, everybody? This is your boy DJ, aka the pastor, here with the FrazierChronicles, and today I'm just going to be addressing something that's very important. As living in America, being Black in America, um, it's some stuff that we need to talk about, and I'm here to talk about it. I want you to just listen to it, focus on it real quick, and today I'm going to be talking about police. Um, basically the police brutality on the Black community. And the first thing that I want to talk about is what is police brutality? Police brutality. I want to take a look at that word before I get started, because it's everyone needs to understand about police brutality and what it is. Police brutality is a civil rights violation. Civil rights violation. That's number one. Let's start there. Let's understand what police brutality is. It's a civil rights violation. When you go to talk about police brutality, that's not just saying, "Hey, they violated me in this, they did this to me, they did that to me." A lot of that does not hold up in court, because you're not bringing forward the things that need to be brought in a legal system, in a judicial system. Okay, it's a civil rights violation that occurs when a police officer acts with excessive force by using an amount of force with regards to a civilian that is more than what necessary. Educate yourself. Educate yourself. Educate yourselves. Educate yourself. Everyone, blacks, educate yourself. Put down the video games. It's enough of that. Put down all that stuff that's irrelevant to what is going on. Listen now. Again, police brutality is a civil rights violation, period. Civil rights violation, period. And that civil rights violation occurs when a police officer acts with excessive force by using an amount of force with regards to a civilian that is more than necessary, period. Okay? Excessive force by a law enforcement officer is a violation of a person's rights. We live in America. We got rights. We got rights, right? It's time to use that. It's time to use your rights. Learn your rights. You cannot say anything that somebody violates your rights not knowing your rights. I'm saying this because a lot of times people get on television and saying, "Oh, my rights were violated," and then you ask them what right was violated, they can't tell you. Can't tell you. This is America, y'all. This is America. I'm free. I'm on my podcast moments right now. This is crazy. This is America. This is America, and we have rights, but people don't know about it. Anyway, I'm gonna move on. As a violation of a person's right, excessive force is not subject to a precise definition, but it is generally beyond the force of a reasonable and prudent law enforcement officer who would use the circumstances. Okay, they're authorized to use certain things. They're authorized to use force, but not excessive force. So if I don't have a gun, if a police stops me, he says, "Hey, I'm stopping you for speeding." Okay, he tells me, "I'm stopping you for speeding," right? And then the next thing you know, he pulls out his gun. "You stop me for speeding, officer. My hands are on the dash." He talks about, "Hey, he looks like he has a gun. My hands is on the dash." You're using excessive force, officer. My hands are on the dash. Now, if you pull me out my car and you're pulling on me and you're hurting me and all of these things, and this is all live feed, and I'm telling them what's going on, because because in life people are gonna lie. We know that. We know that there are lies in the law. People lie intentionally to save their job. People lie intentionally because they do something wrong, but they want to cover up the wrong. Right? They don't want to talk about what they did. They want to say, "Oh, it looked to me." Right? Things start changing. Small things start changing because they go from on the radio, you're being aggressive. "Sir, my hands is on the steering wheel," right? That's how sir, my hands is on the steering wheel. "Yes, you stopped me, just trying to see what you're stopping me for," right? And then the next thing you know, it escalates, right? It escalates because of someone somewhere wants this power, right? But let me keep going. Let me keep going because I got to talk to you real quick. I'm gonna talk to you, but I just want to give you some basic knowledge. I want to hit this, and then I want to get on my soapbox. So, force should be used in only the minimum amount needed to achieve a legitimate purpose. Force should be used in only the minimum amount needed to achieve a legitimate purpose, right? So if I don't have a gun, I'm not being aggressive. I'm not doing none of that. I'm complying with everything you're saying, right? You pull out your gun, sir. I can ask you, officer, what are you pulling your gun out for? I've done nothing wrong in the situation, right? And everybody always wants to say, well, it's the way you escalate your voice. It's how you pitch your voice. It's what you say, how you say it. Well, the thing about it is, I'm tired of hearing that blacks are we are the type of people who just are so aggressive. Sometimes we get excited because we're like, hey, I'm in a situation. I'm trying to figure out why am I even in the situation that I didn't cause on myself, right? Let me keep going. Anyways, let me keep going. Police brutality is a direct violation of the laws within the police force, right? The use of excessive force, get this, is also a direct violation of not just of the police force and the law, but now here comes something into play. Listen to this. The use of excessive force is also a direct violation of the 5th and 14th Amendment of the United States Constitution regarding cruelty and protection of the laws. Right? So when a lot of people, a lot of things are happening so fast in life within the black community. It's so fast in life. It's hitting people like this, right? Things are happening, ongoing, right? We watch it every day. We see it on the news. We see it on YouTube. We see it on Facebook. We see so much stuff happening in the black community, but because they don't know their rights and what rights are being violated, right? They allow stuff to happen. And it's the black community. I'm black myself, so I can say this. All right. In the black community, I can tell you like this. If somebody robs your house in the black community, I guarantee you it'll be an hour and it's a change before the cops get there. I can honestly say that because I grew up in the black community, right? So when I see that type of stuff, and then I move to the suburbs, all right, let's get it right, move to the suburbs or an area that's close to the suburbs or a mixed neighborhood, okay? You could call the cops and they'll be there in probably about next 5 to 10 minutes. And I'm talking about it's not a long 5 and 10 minutes. So that 5 or 10 minutes to you is like maybe 1 or 2 seconds because they're there. They're there. All right. But when they go to the black community, see, the thing that really bothers me the most with a lot of this stuff is it's almost like a war on the black community, but yet we don't see it. We don't see these things. All we do is sit there and we allow it to happen. When it happens, we get on our soapbox, we act out for a couple of days, and then we back to the same thing again. We back to the same thing. And I'm telling you, we back to the same thing again. Right? And when we look at life, we go more in life, and as we get older, all right, a lot of things that were happening that we read through history books, because there are books out here that a lot of you have not read. It's a book called Invisible Justice. Every black person needs to read it. I feel like everybody in America needs to read it. But importantly, the black community. It's called Invisible Justice. And on that cover, what made me and inspired me to buy that book, I'm telling you, what made me buy it, I know I am talking a lot, but right now, I'm excited because I'm able to use my platform to bring things to the forefront that people won't talk about. All right, everybody wants to get on their podcast and on their YouTube and on whatever and just blast what's going on. Don't tell you anything that was violated. So I'm telling you, read this book called Invisible Justice. Read the book, Invisible Justice. And what made me buy it, let me get back to what made me buy it, was a noose was on the front cover. Yeah, I was in a predominantly white area, and I went to a bookstore. Because I was doing a business meeting. I was meeting some business mentors, okay? And they were talking to me, and it was in a bookstore. At all places, in a bookstore. I met so many people in my life when I dealt with business, they never go to a bookstore. We meet to get coffee, right? They met at a bookstore, right? And I was looking around because I was like, yo, y'all got me in a bookstore. What am I in a bookstore for? Right. But I got there and I started looking at some of the stuff I started looking at because I'm a reader. I started looking at a lot of stuff. I like reading because there's so much information in books that you won't know about because you don't read about it. Okay. You don't expect somebody to come tell you about it. All right, but today I'm gonna do a little bit of that for you. So I'm in there, I'm in the shop, I'm looking at all this stuff, man. They got books, man, crazy books in there. Books, I'm talking about books on constitutional rights, books on everything, right? And everybody talk about the hood is where it's at. Man, if we could build a bookstore like that in the hood, you wouldn't have the hood no more. I guarantee you, because there'd be so much truth to make you not want to be the part of the hood. That you won't even want to deal with it. Right? You'll change your community. You'll go back and you'll say, look, we're doing it wrong, man. We're doing it wrong. So anyway, I went in there, I bought the book. I looked at it for a little bit. I said, man, what the heck, man? All through history, they talk about lynching. So why would I, as a black man, why am I buy a book with a lynch on it, with a noose on the front cover, with the words "invisible justice"? So what caught me in that, and I don't get paid for that, guys. Don't. So if you're looking and viewing, I don't get paid for books being sold, none of that. Okay. So I'm looking at invisible justice, and all I could think was, because I used to be a correctional officer, so all I could think was invisible justice. And my mind started thinking about invisible justice. Maybe this is talking about a judicial system. Maybe this is talking about something that deals with, going through a justice, trying to figure out what justice is, trying to figure out where you should go, what you should do. And I came up on that book, and it's about totally something I never thought of. And it deals with the KKK. All right. And the thing about it is you learn so much in that book. I want you to read that book. I'm not going to tell you what's in it, because if I tell you, you're not going to go get it. Go read that book. Trust me. Look for that book. I just stumbled across I don't think my local library has that book. I think I researched it, trying to get my kids to read that book, so we can all read it together as a family, because I'm a black father, and I got black children, and I got a black wife, but not everything about me is black. Okay, I'm not a racist individual. I'm not that. I don't like racism. Okay, I don't like that stuff. So when I look at that type of stuff, and it turns me, and it helped me to realize what I'm dealing with, what's going on today, what's going on in America today, and what happened in America years ago is still going on today. And police brutality. When I look at police brutality, everyone just look at this. And I mean, look at it for what it is, not for what you want it to be, for what it is, not for what a politician tells you to think, or what somebody out there that's in part of Congress tells you to look at it. I'm telling you how to look at it from a point of view that's going to make and change your life, so you can understand. So police brutality, when Martin Luther King, and we hear about all of them walking and marching, okay, we talk about the leaders that were part of that, and we leave all the others out of it. Right? And we leave all the kids that walked in that out of it. Right? And we talk and we listen in history, and we see in history, and we read in books that all of this stuff happened. Martin Luther King was sprayed with water hose and this and that, right? But we never look at what it is. There were kids who were sprayed with water hoses. Dogs sick on them. What department was it? It was the police force. And I'm not telling anybody that's a part of police force to get out the police force. I'm not telling you that. I'm not saying if the police come in your neighborhood, they're going to all do that to you. That's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, look at what it is. The same way they're killing our blacks in the middle of daylight, in the middle of the street. In the middle of the street. They have no record, no reason to do it, because every time we look at a case, it always says some type of weapon was there, but no weapons ever found. Right? No weapons ever found. So my whole point of view changes, because if you're going to say something was there, or you're going to say something is there, hell, you can get behind me one day and say, hey, you know what? This guy's from the FrazierChronicles. We stopping DJ, aka the preacher man. Right? And because you want to make a name for yourself, you sit there and you can say, oh, he had a weapon. Let me kill this guy. Right? Tupac said it the best. Tupac, if you listen to the lyrics of Tupac, and people talk about all their music and how vulgar it is, and the Eazy-E's and the Dr. Dre's and the Snoop Dogg's and the Ice Cube, if it wasn't for them, a lot of us won't be where we at. Because when you listen to their music and you listen to it for what it is, not for just for the, oh, that's a nice beat. I'm talking about listen for the lyrics. Listen to what they're saying. Listen to what they're saying, what they're putting out. They're putting out knowledge, gainful knowledge, not just some lyrics. All right, they're putting out stuff that's happened. When NWA came out with that song, F the Police, all of this stuff, you know what I'm saying? They were saying something that was beneficial. They were saying that because, man, these people messing us over. They coming to our hoods, pulling up on us, and we ain't doing nothing. We be walking down the street with a loaf of bread, and they feel like, oh, you got something in that bag. What's in your bag? You know what I'm saying? Your kids can walk down the street in the black community today, and if they walk down the street and they have maybe some pillowcases, man, somebody, if the police stop them, they're going to say they got a gun, they're going to kill them. That's the America we live in. That's the America we live in. Everybody's talking about what Colin Kaepernick did, right? And there's some other NFL players who've done it, right? And they kneel because they're like, hey, I gotta stand for something. Right? In America, people not standing for nothing. That's why we get the leaders and the politicians we get, because no one stands for nothing. Everybody just goes with the flow, listen to what this individual says, and then they go with it. They go with it, right? They go with it. Laws don't change because everybody goes with it. I'm the type of individual like this. You have to be educated, black man. You as a black man, woman, kid, man, you got to be educated. You got to make sure that you are doing everything, because there is a war on the black community, period. Whether people want to admit it or they don't want to admit it, that's neither here nor there. But I know from what I see, I served in the military. I know when wars are raged on something or someone. The war that we fight here in America, man, is black and white, period. Period. Whether people want to admit that or not, man, it's period. Somebody tells you that you can't do something in your life because you got to meet my standards. Who created the standards? It wasn't no black man that created the standards. See that, and that's what I'm talking about. You got to understand who created standards, who created a lot of this stuff to kind of keep you stagnant. People don't understand back when slavery supposedly had ended at one point, right? They didn't understand that when slavery ended, they were trying to send them back home. They wanted to send all the blacks back because they had no need for them. But if you don't read that in books, if you don't go to your local library and read some of the books that's in there, you won't know that. History is in a lot of these books, y'all. Ladies and gentlemen, history is in the books. I'm telling you, it ain't in them textbooks that we got in our neighborhood at the black school. It ain't in that. That ain't the history. That's watered down. That's watered down, man. I think about all the times, and I'm talking about history with the runaway slaves going to the north, man, going for freedom. They fought for something. They ran from something because they felt there was something better. And in America, in the community, we don't do that, right? We got gangs torching our own, right? Torching our own people, right? Torching blacks, going there and kill the kid's son, right? Because this is what America says to do. Your parents, you came from poverty. This is what America says to do. This is the life in America, right? Go out here and kill, right? Go out here and steal, right? But they don't tell you about the penitentiary that they about to send you to, do they? They don't tell you about that. Man, when I worked in the prison, I'm talking about this because I care about the black community. I care about the black society. I care about those that are in that lineage, that have pushed the lineage so that we can be where we are, right? From the past. People that died, right, gave their life so that we as blacks could do what we do, right? In the United States military, all across the board, at some point, guess who wasn't allowed to do certain things? Blacks weren't allowed to do certain jobs, right? But they fought within that organization to do the things that was necessary so that later on, yeah, maybe I'm not reaping the benefits, but I'm fighting so that my kids and their kids and then the society that comes after them can go ahead and be what they want to be. Right? I'm putting together a new project, and I'm just throwing that out there so that y'all can stay tuned too. I'm putting together a new project as well about being black in the military. Because there are things that you guys, no one knows. There's things that no one knows, but I'm going to put it on the front burner because that is something that in America we should be talking about. The book, and I want to go back to that book, Invisible Justice, and I just want to talk about it a little bit because it's going to help you understand. Blacks get killed. Well, first I'm going to say what I got to say about that. Blacks get killed and we say, man, that's a bad thing, right? And you know why a lot of people that are in Congress don't care, and a lot of people that's in, a part of the judicial system don't care. You want me to tell you why? because they look at us and they say, you know what? Blacks killing their own self, right? We killing ourselves so many ways, man. They know people have disabilities and issues, man, and they give them some money to go out there to get what they need. You know, a little bit of money, just a little bit, not too much, just a little bit, right? And a little bit people get, man, they go out there and they buy beer, right? Let me tell you how small. They go out there and buy beer, and they got gun shops on every corner in the black community, man. Pawn shops with guns, right? And they got all this stuff in the black community to destroy it, not to build. Let us understand that, not to build it. All right. So people out here thinking that I'm in the black community. I'm just here. The black community is over there. They're dying out. That's the goal. That's the objective. If you look at history, right? They couldn't send us back, so they had to give us something that'll kill us off. Right? Kill them off. Right? And now, not only that, they using certain departments to do it, right? And then we as blacks, we so caught up in being black that all we want to do is be ghetto, and we want to be ghetto fabulous, and we want to do all the stuff in the ghetto and at the hood. We got to have somebody basically say, man, you macho, you hard, man, you this, you that, but then you go get locked up, and none of them boys and none of them women are there to tell you what you are, right? Because everybody that's locked up, let me tell you something, everybody that's locked up, man, everybody wearing the same damn track. They all on the same damn track. You know what I'm saying? What I mean by that is I'm using metaphors and things like that. If you ran track or you played sports, everybody ran the same race. Everybody was in it for the same thing, right? Everybody did it, right? But only a select few get selected to go to college, right? Right? And then only a select few get to go to the NFL, right? We all in the same boat. We all in the same mix. We all trying to get to the same thing, right? But then we got to be so black that we miss out on the mark. We miss out on that. Right. So my thing about it is, and I'm the type of person, I'm an excited individual. I love having my own talk show. I love having my own stuff. I love being this. This is me. Right. So Tupac, I want to get on Tupac, what Tupac said, man. It made a lot of sense, man. A lot of people don't listen to Tupac's lyrics because, you know, it's a lot of profane language, and that's okay. But Tupac said, if you kill a black man, you're labeled a hero. Tupac said that. A black man said that, right? He said that because he knew what they were doing, and they were labeling them heroes for doing it. I look at the Vietnam Wars. I look at all the wars that have happened and dealing with the black folks, right? We're all trying to move into the direction so we can have a better life. That's what everybody's talking about. We want a better life. We want a better lifestyle. We want to be able to be prosperous. We want to be able to be doctors and lawyers. And I don't care where you come from or where you're at. If you don't leave that mentality, and I'm talking about that mentality of slavery, where it's supposed to stay out of your minds, out of your hearts, out of your life, you're gonna bring it with you on the next ride. Right. And I'm talking about police brutality in the black community because a lot of this stuff that we going through, man, it's already happened before. A lot of rules won't change because a lot of Klansmen, and I say this, a lot of Klansmen and the KKK have a lot of their power still on the judicial system. Let's be realistic. They still got the power in the police departments. They got it in the sheriff departments. Look at the color of these departments, man. They got it in the military. Look at the color of the leaderships. Look at that color. You can't break a barrier. You can't break barriers not knowing when you're fighting, not knowing the fight. They always say, the thing was always saying, pick your battles, learn how to fight your battles, pick your battles and things like that. But I've learned picking your battles is not me physically going out here and fighting a white man on the street, right? It's not me physically going to fight an officer, a cop that's on a police force, right? That's not the battle. That's not the fight. That's not the way to fight. The fight them is through knowledge. That's the end result is knowledge. I can't fight what I don't know, right? I can't call out rules and regulations and laws that have been broken or violated if I don't know them. And a lot of people don't know it. I love I like for people to always email me at podcasting. And this, I'm throwing my email out there right now, is podcaster at FrazierChronicles.com. And the @ sign is the @ sign, not AT, but the @ sign. As everybody knows, if on your computers, you got to push shift and the number 2, and that'll give you your @ sign. And you can always email me questions, email me comments and concerns. You can find me on Facebook and Instagram. Same thing, Frazier Chronicles. I got the hat, Frazier Chronicles. We're not going nowhere, right? We about to get bigger, right? Watch, we about to get bigger. I'm letting you know that now. We're about to get bigger, right? And I'm not just going to be the only one on the show soon. Soon as we're going to have people in here, and we're going to be all here, right here, podcasting and at the table, breaking bread, right, on topics. So another thing that when I talk about the police and the black police brutality on the black community, it's heavy, y'all. This country, people worrying about the flag that's supposed to bring us together, man, and it doesn't. Right? There's no one nation under God. Now we're supposed to be under God, but I don't know who people are under now. They're under their degrees, they're under everything else. They've lost touch with reality because somebody somewhere told them to do this. This is how you're supposed to live life, man. In the black community, we don't even have a lot of fathers, man. I grew up with my father. I grew up with both my parents in the house, man. I was blessed to do that. And I want my kids to go through the same thing. I was blessed. You know, my father didn't go to prison. He didn't do all that. My father provided so that I can know how to be a father, right? Because that's why we got the turmoil in the black community, man. And it don't get no better because we got the police, right? And then the police don't make it no better because the police come in and all they think about is what they see on TV, what somebody tells them, what they go off of what they don't know. Right? They go off of what somebody tells them or what they read in a book or what they read on their iPhone. Because hell, now, you know, as a police officer, you don't need to really know anything. All you got to do is pick up your phone and ding, what do I need to know about this black community, this black person? Right? And then in the black community, they send the wrong people into the black community. Stop sending scared folks. Let me say that. Stop sending scared folks. Right? It ain't nothing to be scared of in the black community, man. We human like you. It's just when you come in and you want to talk to us about stuff, you can't make me say something I don't know about. I don't know about my next door neighbors like that. I can't tell you what happened down on South End Street, and I went on South End Street at 3 o'clock this morning. I was in my bed, right? So you can't. So that's what I'm saying, right? And in the black community, I'm gonna get on our black community too. Don't think I'm not coming for you. I'm gunning for you too, right? Because that's what we do in love, right? So the black community, what we got to do as blacks, man, we got to learn how to stick together. Stop worrying about what your neighbor got. Stop worrying about what your neighbor's driving. Stop worrying about because they got a big TV. How can I go rob them? Man, if you take that same mindset and you think about how can I be like them or how can I get better, man, that'll make you go and say, hey, knock on the door. Hey, I just want to, there's some things about you that I want, some capabilities I see in you that I'm trying to get in myself so that I can become like you. I got a mentor, and I'm being realistic, man. I got a mentor, and I got a rich mentor, right? And nobody can't say, and I'm not here to brag about a rich mentor. What I'm saying is, I know where I want to go in life, so that's the mentor that I get. That's the mentor that I got. I didn't get nobody that's broke, right? I can't get nobody that can't. It's like this. I can't go out there on the street, right, and ask a homeless person how to buy a house, right? But I can definitely show enough go and ask them, how do I not get to where you're at in my life? Right? And I'm quite sure they're going to tell you what you need to do so that you can strive for greatness. That's what the FrazierChronicles is about. Helping you strive in your community for greatness. Whether you're white man, black man, Chinese man, African man, or whatever nationality you are as woman too. It's not just us men. It's about all of us, right? We know in the world that racism is always going to play out. Right? We know racism is at the forefront in this nation. The nation they call America. You know, I sit and I look at how all these people get so upset about the United States flag, people not standing for the national anthem. Damn, they got a right too. They don't have to stand for a damn thing. Let's understand that. When you say the Pledge of Allegiance, hell, I ain't got to do nothing. I can sit in my seat. There ain't no regulation that says that I have to do anything, right? It don't say I got to stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Don't say none of that. So everybody being so emotional, but the thing I can tell you about this is, and I can tell you for sure, and I can give you a definite for sure answer, is if it came down to the American flag and the Confederate flag, people will stand for the Confederate flag and they'll damn ditch the American flag. I guarantee you that. But see, nobody talks about or debates those topics. Everybody wants to keep it, let's keep it simple. Let's keep it where everybody say, yeah, I stand for the American flag. Colin Kaepernick ain't gonna play in the NFL, and I'm gonna put it like this. I know I'm talking about everything, but He won't play in the NFL as long as there are racist owners. That's why he's not back. The truth is out. I'm telling you the truth. Because it's like this, if I was a racial individual, and I don't, one thing I can't understand is what the hell to be racist about? What is there to be racist about? What makes somebody want to just say, well, because the color of your skin? I mean, you racist to Jesus himself. You racist to God himself. Right? Because God made everybody and made them in different types of colors and different types of language, right? And with different type of skin and different type of hair and so on and so on, right? But everybody is racist to what they see, right? You're racist about something, and it don't make sense. I went to school in North Dakota, right? And when I went to college up there, people talk about, man, I never seen a black person in life, man, and all this other stuff, man. And I never dealt with racism like that, man. I went to all black school. You know, we had a couple whites, man. Ain't nothing out of the ordinary, you know. And they were cool people. They were cool cats. You know what I'm saying? We all hung out. We talked. We were friends, and some of we still friends to this day, right? But something happened in certain areas that I've lived in, right? And and the thing is, I learned how to walk. And I learned how to talk, and I learned how to do things so that when those things came and those things came in front of me, I didn't react on them, because every action don't need a reaction. Black community, get that. Every action that's out there don't need a reaction. You a black man and you go in a store and they tell you, well, you're not allowed in this store, right? You're not allowed in this store. Let me bring some knowledge to you. You ain't got to go off. I don't care if you're in a black store, white store. I don't care where you at. You ain't got to go off. You just politely move your ass out and get out of Dodge. That's all you got to do. You ain't got to stand there and talk and do all that extra stuff that you know is going to bring a police officer there, and you don't even know about the area, but you're going to sit here and argue, and then here's this police officer that comes in, and then the first thing they want to do is draw a gun. Blast, kill you. And they'll kill you. Now your parents and your family got to cry over you. Man, the violence that's out here, man, it's not all. And the thing about it is, the police force is just one half of it's a small part of the problem. Black folks, we the problem of our own issues and situations. We kill our own people. But you know why nobody harps on why the police do so much of the brutalities that they do is because of us. We kill each other. We stand on the street corner and we kill each other, man. Truthfully, we killing each other. It's like an army, right? It's like an army. You can't kill everybody in the army. I'm putting it like that. In armies of the world, you can't kill everybody, because every day somebody else is coming in, and every day that they come in, somebody coming after them, and it's just so on and so on and so on. And the black community, a black child is born every day. Right. And if we can educate ourselves so that we can education push knowledge to others. Because I can tell you, I got old grandfathers and grandmothers, and all they do is push knowledge out to all of us. That's all they doing. Your grandparents are telling you what you need to do. Your granddad's doing this, telling you what you need to do. Your parents in your house telling you what you need to do. Right? They're telling you what you need to do. The world is not going to push you and tell you what you need to do. They're going to tell you what you want to hear. That's the difference. So the next time you want to go out here, you want to listen to somebody, listen to the people that's telling you what you need to do, not what you want to hear, right? Because I grew up in a household, I used to say stuff to my dad, and my dad would say, do you want the truth, or do you want me to lie to you? And I tell him I want the truth. And I think if I ever told my dad to lie to him, I think he's going to still tell me the truth. Why? Because that's just how he is. He's one of the realest people I've ever known, right? I grew up, man, I was that person, angry. You know what I'm saying? For what? And what was I angry about? Right? What was I angry about? Right? Going, just doing crazy stuff, right? At some point in my life. And I wasn't doing no killing. I wasn't robbing your house. I ain't doing none of that stuff. So don't think I was doing that stuff, man. I didn't do that. I got in fights here, fights there, right? And I eventually learned. My father told me, man, as you get older, man, the judicial system coming at you. Right? And I had a choice to make right then and there, right? Twinkle of an eye, right? Either keep doing the same crap you're doing and get landed up behind in prison cells and in jails and letting a judge dictate your life. Man, that's the worst thing you can do, is let a judge dictate where you're going to spend whether I'm gonna let you be a free man or whether I'm gonna let you be a locked up slave man. Because when you're locked up, you're a slave. You're a slave. You're a slave, man. I don't care what nobody tell you, man. I don't care. I don't care if you watch this video and you're talking, well, I've been incarcerated and that ain't how it's looked at. Man, you look at it for what it is. Stop looking at it for what you wanted so you can feel good. That's what's wrong with their life. That's what's wrong with people now. They want to look at for stuff for what makes them feel good instead of looking at what you know what I'm saying, what really it is, right? So I'm gonna tell you a story about me, right? About me dealing with police, right? So I've been stopped by law enforcement before, not police, but your state troopers. Okay, they're a different branch of law enforcement. They're state troopers. You have your city police. You have your county sheriffs. So everybody's in a different. They're all law enforcement. They're all in different work. So like I can't go like a state trooper can't go to the police department like a transfer. He has to go basically drop that state job and go and be a part of the city job. Okay, and then you got your city police, which is the city. Then you got your sheriff department. So if he wants to leave the police department and go to the sheriff department, he has to drop that city job and go to the county. See how it works? City, county, state, right? And then he wants to go up to the federal level, right, and be a federal police. He has to drop all of those, or she has to drop all of those and go to the federal level. So let's look at it. They're all part of the law enforcement branch. Okay, so everybody has their own place, right? So I got stopped by a state trooper, and first time I ever got stopped by a state trooper, it was for distracted driving. I was at a stoplight, and I was texting on my phone. Right, light turned green. I put it down, and then I drove, and then I got stopped. Right, and something that I've learned throughout, this is my first time being stopped. Something that I did learn. I'm a black man, right? Is not to be aggressive. I got stopped. I rolled all my windows down. I want you to be comfortable because I want you to be comfortable because I want to be comfortable. Right? I roll all my windows down. He stopped me. He said something about the text and about he asked me. He said, "Nah, didn't he ask?" He asked me. He said, "I stopped you because of text." I said, "Okay. No, I'm not gonna argue with you. Whatever, cool. If I want to argue, I go find a lawyer to argue. Right? Right? I mean, that's what lawyers are made for. Or I just pay the ticket, pay the fine. Right? People always want to argue when they're wrong, or people want to argue when they're right. Both of those don't make it right. Just whatever. All right. I got other stuff to do in my life anyway, another place to go. I'm always moving, so I ain't got time to sit there and argue. So it happened, and this happened in the state of Tennessee. Right? It happened in the state. I reside in North Carolina now, but this happened in the state of Tennessee. So I was a little disappointed in myself. I said, I got to do better, right? That's all I can say. Move on, all right? Because it happened. Move on. And then I went to court. Had to go take a class, driver class. Took a driver's class, defense class, driver's defense class. So I knew that I was going to have to do that because I went and researched. I did research throughout the state of Tennessee where I was located at. And I learned that your first offense, this is what it is. All right. So me knowing that, I didn't hire a lawyer because I felt, why would I pay you when I'm not going to have to pay the courts? I can take a self-defense driving class, be moved on and move on. Okay. Move on. How easy was that? That's very easy, right? Moved on. No incidents, right? No incidents. That's what we're going to start pushing away in the black communities. No incidents. None of that. Right? When you get stopped, roll your windows down. Just have your hands up, waiting for whatever they're going to ask you. You don't have to get up more. You don't have to get up less. You don't have to tell them nothing. If they stop you for a tail light, they ain't nothing to talk about no damn guns. They ain't nothing to talk about no damn drugs. All right? Keep that stuff to a minimum. So, anyways, we went on and I came to North Carolina and I got stopped by a state trooper. I was in my wife's car and he said I was speeding. Now, when he stopped me, he never told me how fast I was going. All he said was a speeding. I'm not an incident type of person. Said, hey, it is what it is because I know that I'm black and you're white. Stuff can escalate, right? Everything escalates and then it trickles down, right? So I got stopped. He said, hey, you got this, blah, blah, blah. That's what you did. I was like, all right, cool. Bet he asked me some questions about, is there anything else in the car? Sir, you stopped me for speeding. We're going to stay on speeding. Whatever else you got to say is not irrelevant to what you're stopping me for. Period. The incidents that we get into sometimes is because of this, your mouth. And you want to do this, right? When you should do this. So anyway, I got stopped and I got a ticket, whatever. I had to pay $5. Found me a lawyer and let me go fight it, right? And I have not been in any trouble. Never been locked up, right? Nobody was shot, no brutality, none of that, because I stayed calm. Now, if something happened where that did happen, then I would have came up and made my solution. But other than that, this is me about to sign off, Frazier Boy, aka DJ, aka the Preacher Man. Yours truly. Share my video. Shouts out to everybody out there that's doing good and all the ones that's trying to get back on track. Man, follow me. Get on my video, man. I'm gonna lead you to the promised land. All right.